Hey everybody!
Hi!
We're here to bring you our review of the Maze Runner movie because we got to go see an advanced screening on September the 10th. So we decided to talk about it a little bit and yeah, here we go. So going into the movie I was extremely excited because it was a really good book. The trailers are really good. I remember them amping me up pretty good. The marketing effort was not as good as the Hunger Games.
No,
the very first Hunger Games.
I was really afraid that there wasn't going to be a lot of publicity around it and no one was going to know what the Maze Runner was, and I really wanted it to do well. So,
yeah,
still hoping for that.
It seemed like they were going to do like an internet sort of marketing thing because they started that website that people were playing around with like a few months back, which just reminded me of the Capitol's website. But then it just like was nothing, so it wasn't very exciting.
They posted stuff on like Vine and Twitter.
Yeah,
and
that was
Pretty
good.
Little Liars Instagram's doing some stuff, but it wasn't huge.
They didn't have the same budget that the Hunger
No.
Games had. So what got me super excited was that Wick Godfrey was the producer of the movie, and yeah, I was a fan of the Twilight series, so I was excited. But also because Wick was bringing The Fault in Our Stars to life, and we all saw The Fault in Our Stars already, and that was amazing.
One thing I was afraid of for the movie was the whole telepathy between Thomas and Teresa, since we all heard that that wasn't going to be included in this. But I think we heard something about their, like, hinting towards it.
If you read any articles about it, they said that there's a look that Thomas and Teresa share in the film to hint to people who have read the books, because they are going to need that, or I think that they're going to need that telepathy
in the
Scorch Trials. Spoilers if you haven't read the Scorch Trials. I think I saw the look.
I didn't see the look. After watching the movie, we both thought that it was really, really good, even though there were some changes.
There were a lot of changes. Let's just face it, there were a lot of changes.
Let's be honest here.
There were a lot of changes, but a lot of them made sense, and I hadn't read the book recently before seeing the movie.
I haven't read the book in like 2 years.
Yeah, I think I read our copy like 8 months ago or something. Yeah. I kind of like that going to movies anyways, because then you don't get to compare them too much, and so yeah, I think the movie standing alone is a good movie.
Yeah, it totally works. If you haven't read the book yet and you're not planning to, you can totally go watch The Maze Runner without having read it.
Yes, you can drag your friends along, that's what's important, and then convince them to read the book. It kept pretty close to the book. There were only just little details here and there.
They changed some lines. Like, they gave some lines to different characters.
Yeah, that's true. Like, some of Chuck's lines ended up with Newt.
Yeah.
Which was probably just to give Newt more lines.
Yeah. And Newt's pretty important in the rest of the series.
Yeah, Newt gets important. So it was really exciting. There's a lot of action sequences, and the 20th Century Fox rep who introduced the film for us told us to basically just sit on the front edge of our seats, and
he said we would be in the perfect place for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, and that's basically true. There are a lot of moments that if you're not careful, you might scream. There are people who screamed in our screening.
I jumped.
Yeah, there was definitely people who jumped. Okay, it's the Maze Runner, so they're running, and then as they're running, it's like all you want to do is like also run, but like you just want to like be running because it's so like high energy.
You feel the adrenaline with them.
Yeah.
Let's start with the elevator scene when Thomas comes up. That was really, really cool.
Yeah, the box is pretty much like exactly how I imagined it to look like. The opening of the movie is the opening of that first major trailer that we got a few months back, which is whoa.
Yeah.
Except extended.
There wasn't even any talking and like that first trailer was
for sure.
Oh my god.
Like, I'm pretty sure that Dylan O'Brien doesn't talk for the first like 4 minutes of this film. Well, he says hey and help and then
screams.
He screams a lot. And then he runs. There were a lot of scenes with the maze where when the maze was closing, there's like a change in air pressure, so every time that the maze was gonna close, there's like this huge gust of wind that would always come through, which is really weird. I'm not sure if that's so scientifically correct, but hey, it looked really cool. Teresa's arrival was pretty cool. It was kind of funny. You'll see why when you see the movie. But I think Kaya Scodelario was really good as Teresa. But I just love Teresa. She's like my favorite.
There were some times when she was like slipping out of her accent a little bit.
It was so minor, you wouldn't even know. It was like
one
word.
I knew it.
It was one word. Other characters who were really good.
Chuck.
The actor who plays Chuck was amazing.
He was spot on, exactly how we imagined him to be.
And he was just cast from like the internet, which is like, whoa.
Yeah, it was like, where has this brilliant little kid been all our lives?
Albie. I also really liked the actor who played Albie.
He wasn't as mean as I was expecting him to be, but
you can tell he's still like the leader, that he knows everything and people listen to him. And they listen to whatever he decides.
Gally, let's talk Gally.
Gally. Actually, Will Poulter's a really good Gally. He wasn't the Gally that I envisioned, but he is a good Gally.
Yeah.
Gally, in the movie, I think his motivations are a little bit different than they are in the book. I don't know why they decided to do it like that, but they did. There was a part of me that was scared for the adaptations of these books because they're using Will Poulter a lot in those promo press tours, and I was like, why do they keep on using him? Like, they better not be expanding his role so that he, like, spoilers, he's not supposed to be in the second movie. And as much as I love Will Poulter, I really didn't want him in the second movie. And so I was kind of scared that somehow they bumped up his role and then he becomes, I don't know, that they were going to change it drastically and he becomes chummy with Thomas enough to the point that he survives. We still gotta see how Scorched Trials turns out, but Gally's arc does stay faithful to the book. Thank you. Thank you. It's just that his motivation is slightly different. He nailed it.
Yeah, he was really mad.
He was really good at being really mad. So in the trailers, they show a fight scene between Gally and Thomas, or a wrestling scene sort of with that bonfire.
Like, after though, you kind of think that Gally and Thomas are gonna get along after that.
Yeah, but then they don't.
Yeah,
so
they don't. Gally hates Thomas.
Yeah, he still hates the guy.
Yeah, he just.
But for different reasons than the book.
Feelings about Thomas, I think in the movie weren't as strong as they were in the book.
Yeah, I think the reasons in the movie were a lot more logical, so they'll work for people who haven't read the book. But the reasons in the book were a lot more compelling.
Yeah.
Okay, on to Newt. Frankly, when I was reading the book, I pictured Newt as an African American. That's no secret.
He was always blonde to me.
I don't know if I read the initial description wrong or anything, but that's just how I pictured him. But anyways, we got Thomas Brodie-Sangster.
I think he was really good.
Yeah, he's a great actor. He gets to keep his accent.
Yeah.
Great. He's the only one in the cast who gets to keep his accent. For all the Brits in there. There wasn't enough of him in this. There wasn't enough. I wanted more.
Even though they did give him, like, more lines. Yeah.
Because I mean, later in the other books, like, Newt, Mino, and Thomas are like the bros.
They're like
three
amigos. Let's talk about Fry Pan. I really liked Fry Pan. He was hilarious in this book. In this movie, he was hilarious.
Yeah.
His one-liners, just so good.
Actually, a lot of the minor characters, like some of the Med Jacks and stuff, like they got to put their little lines in there, which was really cool. Because they're not necessarily featured in the book sometimes, but they get their little spotlight in the movie. And I thought what was really cool, just as a whole, is that the whole group was very diverse in like color, skin color.
Yeah.
Well, they could have been more diverse in age range, but it was pretty good. The last character we want to talk about is Mino. Yeah. For me, I think Mino was the scene stealer. Yeah, he was just really good.
He was really good at screaming Thomas.
Ki-Hong Lee is like,
he is so good.
I'm gonna keep an eye on him for his movies coming out whenever, because he was really good. One thing that they did differently was that he's a lot more mysterious in the movie, rather than the sort of like the sarcastic Joker.
Yeah, he was really sarcastic in the book.
Yeah, in the books, you know, he's like, he has no filter at all. He also has like a really short temper. He was more just like brooding in the movie, but he was still like really good. Okay, so let's jump to the ending without spoiling anything.
It was a really good ending. It was a bit different.
The end of the maze part, I preferred it in the book than I did in the movie, just because in the book it was longer, but it was still exciting to watch. It just didn't last for as long. Okay, let's talk about favorite scenes.
My favorite scene is something that happens in the Glade when Thomas and Mino like meet up again that first night that they spend out in the Glade, because it made me jump in my seat. And also because Mino was screaming at Thomas.
My favorite scenes, it might be when Thomas and Mino are exploring the maze on their own. That one was a good scene.
Oh yeah, the columns.
Yeah. Another favorite scene was probably like when Ben attacks Thomas, because that one's really good.
Yeah.
Like the transformation that they did for Ben and Albie, like what they do with special effects and makeup is like incredible.
Yeah.
It's just it's fantastic and like chilling.
Like the way James Dashner describes it is like a zombie, and then what you see is like them transitioning into a zombie.
Yeah, essentially, it was really good. Other favorite scenes, the very end after the maze.
Yeah.
After the maze, all those scenes were really good.
Yeah.
Any slight changes that they make are not going to be huge, but they actually kind of give you more insight that you might not have gotten when reading the book. Like, you'll be like, oh snap, that's how it was! And as somebody who just reads a lot of books and watches a lot of book-to-movie adaptations, you kind of like those 2.5 hour long movies. At the same time, the runtime, I believe, is just slightly less than 2 hours.
It's like an hour 50 minutes.
Yeah, maybe hour 50, hour 45.
Yeah.
But the pacing of that whole hour 45 is like really non-stop.
Good. Yeah. Now we're just going to go over our likes versus dislikes of the movie.
To sort of sum up our impression of the whole movie.
Favorite actor?
I just have to go with my girl Kai Scodelario.
I'm going to go with Dylan O'Brien, because I'm currently rereading the book. Dylan O'Brien is Thomas to me now.
Favorite character? In the books, like, I would say that Teresa's my favorite character. In the movie, my favorite character was probably Mino.
In the books, my favorite character was Newt. And in the movies, I would choose Mino too, just because we got a lot more of him than we did Newt. Number one complaint. There
wasn't any telepathy. I am mourning the loss of the telepathy.
I would agree with her. Telepathy was pretty big in the books. And even though I did want a longer movie, telepathy was more important.
So, to talk a little bit about the Grievers, because there's a lot of anticipation for that, I think that they were properly scary, and they had the same attributes as in the book. It's not like it technically was against the book. For me, it was always like, I always imagined just this blob of black with mechanical things sticking out of it. In the books, they have spikes all over their bodies, and in the movie, they only have spikes in one place, basically. But yeah, they're good. They're not a disappointment at all. They're properly scary. Yeah. Especially in the way they moved, and I guess the editing. Going back to the dislikes, I have one more thing to add. The Griever hole. The Griever hole is different than it is in the books. Yeah. And it looks a lot cooler in the movie, but like I like the one in the
we like the one in the books. Because the one in the books is just like, and like what the heck happened? Yeah, like what is in the Griever hole is different. Yeah. I revised my favorite scene. My favorite scene is just when Mino, Thomas, and Albie are all stuck in the maze that one night. Because that was just a fantastic sequence, the whole thing. It was probably like my highlight of the whole movie, I think. It was probably like the most like action-packed, like thrilling scene of the whole movie.
Exactly.
Was that middle part.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so just to wrap it up, let's give our ratings for this whole movie shebang thing. I give it 4.5 clunks out of 5. In a good way.
I would give it 4.5 Minos out of 5.
That's it for our review. Comment down below what you thought.
And what your favorite scene was and what your least favorite scene was.
Yeah, maybe your top highlight and your worst highlight. If you haven't seen the movie yet,
it's already out. You should go watch it.
That's true. So after you watch it, come back here. But if you really want to comment down below before you go see it, let us know what you are most excited for. Yeah, that's it for now. We'll see you again next
time.
week. Okay. Bye.